to address another who had harassing me while I lived at Sacred Heart. Do you remember Veronica? Veronica Rogers? Remember how she used to harass me when I lived at Susquehanna House, and then they sent her over to Sacred Heart for her to harass me there. So she was another person. Veronica, Amina, Smoke, otherwise known as Stefan. Remember that? Because, you would, if you got in court, you would lie because your whole life is a lie. Your whole life is a drag, and I could drag you right now. See, because I don't have to lie about anybody harassing me sexually. What would be the reason why Veronica was harassing me? Because she was my roommate. Right. Veronica was my roommate over at Susquehanna House. Then we moved over to Sacred Heart. She was there. It was about 6 of us that went. I just found it kind of strange how the ones that were, see, listen, when I go around females, my sexual preference is nobody's business. So the fact that it kept coming up is strange. Because when I'm outside, I'm not outside talking about what my sexual preference are. Excuse me. When I go to the gym and there's men in there with their shirt off, I look. Of course I do. I'm human. And I'm a woman, most importantly, with estrogen. So I look, of course I do. No, I don't look at the females like that, even when I'm back in the locker room. No, I don't. I hurry up and get out the locker room and go out there where the men are at. Right. So see, Ellen, you got because Veronica was at Susquehanna House, and then when she went, she continued her harassment of me over at where? Sacred Heart, right. And what did LaRonda and Temple do about the harassment? Nothing. Why? Because Temple is saying gender loving, ain't she? Ain't Temple married to a woman? See, because don't make me start naming names because you will get embarrassed on here. Temple used to work for Sacred Heart Recovery, is same gender loving. I just ain't say what Temple's last name was. Right, but if you want me to, though, I can. Because Temple was always just at work when Smoke would be bothering me and doing stuff, and nothing was done about it. Cops were called. Wasn't the cops called out to that residence numerous times? Right there, Borden Hunting Park. So if you're gonna say I'm a liar, I can prove what I'm saying. Prove what I'm saying, which means that staff, Temple, LaRonda, LaRonda, I wouldn't ask you for a glass of water right now if I was in front of you, cause you so full of it. For the 5 times that your fake ass been married. You was looking for a man that would accept your bulldagging ways. That's what I said. See, you asked me when you met me what my sexual preference was, and I said men. I said men. I said I never dated a woman, right? And then what you proceeded to do was allow the women there that were same gender loving chase me, although you had a man on the floor who was transitioning. Right. Remember that? Remember Jordan? The man that came from wherever he came from, and he was full body man and was transitioning. You do remember that, right? Right. See, so don't try to make it seem like I've made up stories. Because I don't have to make up anything about my life ever at all. If I go into a room and somebody asks me what my gender is, it's none of their business because that's already been addressed. I came to live there. I didn't come there to get a girlfriend. So, LaRonda, you didn't need to know that because, you wasn't going to be playing footsie with me, but you wanted to know that. And I told you, I said, I'm heterosexual. That's the term in the street. Although it is referred to as straight, LaRonda, if you're listening, with your fake ass, running around with what you got on, and then you chase women too, right? See, you all were using your position against me, and you thought that, no. See, I had to be silent while I was there. But since I'm not there now, if I want to write down every incident that happened and put it on my YouTube page, how you, LaRonda Muslim, LaRonda Muslim, weren't you there with my cousin? He got sick? With your fake ass. You were. Temple, I don't know if Temple was there, but LaRonda, you full of it. You faker than this wig that's on my head right now. I'm not even ashamed to say that it's fake, because you're fake. You're faker than a $2 bill. When you ask somebody what their sexual preference is and they tell you, you then can't proceed to have other same gender loving women harass them. See, for the 5 times you've been married, lady at the well. Isn't that what the Bible says, that the lady at the well had 5 husbands? Well, you the true lady. See, you the true lady. You just a true lady in another religion. And I'm not knocking your religion. I'm just saying that you've been married 5 times. I ain't even been married one. But I've been asked, though. But I've been asked. See, when you're going to run back facts on me, I could put that whole story out about how I stayed there and y'all kept allowing Smoke to harass me, aka Stephanie. Veronica, you almost let Michelle attack me. I mean, yeah, Michelle did give me that coat. See, I ain't gonna lie about the coat. Didn't that coat come from Michelle? She came in one day with a bag of clothes and said, "Here, Catherine, that same Liz Claiborne coat that I'm always walking around in, Michelle, that Sacred Heart, gave it to me." I don't mind telling people that. She did. Michelle don't believe the same thing I believe, and that's okay. She's a little psyched out of her mind, and she tried to hit me. And I ran from her. And then the last time I seen her, not too long ago, my feet couldn't move fast enough away from Michelle. Why? Because, yeah, see, that's the game that you play. Always dangling people's addictions. Because you couldn't do that to me. See, you could have did that to them other women that were there, because they struggle with their addiction. I've already said I struggle with obesity. That is something that my doctors can help me control and help me get control of it. But no, that wasn't good enough for you, LaRonda. When you accepted me into Sacred Heart, you knew that I never had no addictions. And what did you say one time when I was on the phone with my son? What did you say? You need a drug test. And what did my son tell you? Why would you need a drug test? My mom ain't never do drugs. Did my son tell you that? Because he did. And then you asked me for a urine test. Who was you going to use my urine for? See, I can go back in my records. I have 2 children, not one. 2 children. Both my hospitals have records of me never doing no type of drug paraphernalia. But all this coming from you, who have done so much, you snorted so much coke or smoked so much crack until your heart was about to bust. You and I are not the same. I'm not downing you, but you tried to play me, and you did what? You got played. Why? Because wasn't Smoke going to my refrigerator and stealing my food, and y'all just was letting all this go on, right? So see, now that I'm ready to talk about it, I'm writing my autobiography, and I don't know if I'm going to put that in there, but I might put it on my wall, though, because see, on my wall, everybody can see the fake-ass person that you are, LaRonda. You are. Oh, everybody go get a lock, and we'll lock your food up. And you remember when you thought that I had COVID? You put me on the elevator with the lady that had the COVID, and then when you thought that I had it, I could only cook for a certain time, and you just kept allowing Smoke to harass me. You remember how that went with Smoke? Because I'm about to remind you how it went with Smoke, because you got Ellen over here who think I'm lying about Smoke. She's not a figment of my imagination. See, what happened with Smoke was she kept harassing me, and I told the lady that I was straight. She kept harassing me, and I kept telling her that I was straight. Isn't that what happened, Amanda? You let her harass me until, didn't I have to go down to Norristown and look for the Department of Probation in Norristown? Because I had never been there, didn't know how to get there. Isn't that what happened? See, I know that God has his hands on me. I know that he has his hands on me because I had to put a dresser in front of my bedroom door at nighttime to keep them same gender loving women from trying to attack me while I was asleep. They wasn't satisfied with, no, they was gonna get me while I was asleep. I was scared to go to the bathroom at night because Smoke was always watching me. I was afraid to take a shower. I had to get up real early to take a shower because she was watching. See, and you thought that was good behavior, LaRonda. Was Ellen telling you all of this? See, it was funny when it was happening, but my great-grandmama said, the very thing that made you laugh ain't gonna be so funny one day. See, now that I'm telling it and I'm out in the open and I'm telling it, it ain't funny. See, I don't really care what Ellen might have told you to do. It was up to you not to do it. Especially when I sat in your office and told you that I don't date women. So then you just allow like 5 or 6 lesbians in the hall, harass me, stalk me, destroy my laptop for school. Did you forget that that's how my laptop got destroyed, LaRonda? And you stole a laptop from Strayer. So I don't think you better run your mouth too much, LaRonda, because you stole one. You forgot Kenya? Didn't Kenya go to Strayer because of me? Because I already was at Strayer. But didn't Kenya go to Strayer under the same business program that I did? So see, LaRonda, you might want to shut your mouth. Because as it stands with Strayer, I only have 18 more credits, and you stole a laptop from my school. You allowed the one that I had to get cracked, and then the one that Kenya had that was, in her room, you stole it. And you probably sold it for some crack, because, you're lying around here, running around here telling people that you're clean. Baby, if you clean, I don't need to put this wig on my head. If you're clean, I'm 120 pounds, and I know I'm not because the scale just the other day said 191. I'll take that. See, you running around here talking about you been reformed. Girl, if you reformed, you reformed. No, you're just a functional addict that runs a program. That's all you is. No, I ain't never been on drugs, but I've been to the meetings and I hear them stories, how y'all was making me go to the meetings and then y'all ask me, how I feel about it. I can't feel about something I don't know about. You sound dingy saying that. See, goofy. You sound goofy saying, how would I feel about somebody else using drugs when I've already said numerous times, obesity is my struggle. My medical records prove that obesity is my struggle. But your dumb ass gonna ask me how I feel about something I don't know. Because I ain't never struggled with drugs. I ain't never smoked no marijuana. In 51 years, I have tasted some alcohol. I have. I ain't never get overly drunk. But LaRonda, I might have to drag you on my page today. Because you're fake ass. See, you, Benita, remember the social worker? You, Benita, and Temple, y'all full of shit. That's what I say. Excuse me for cussing. Y'all full of shit. See, you let them lesbians chase me up and down the hall, and they nearly about beat me up because I ain't want to be a lesbian. See, the wonderful thing that I like about God is he give me choices. See, he said I could go right or I could go left. See, pay attention to the Bible story. See, I'm going to tell it to you because I see you confused about it. See, it was Abraham and there was Lot. See, I'm telling you a story, LaRonda. So the next time that you're faced with a situation like this, you won't put your desires on somebody else. See, pay attention to the story, LaRonda, with your fake self. I'm going to try not to cuss while I'm talking about God. There was a story about Abraham and Lot. God told Abraham to go his separate ways. He did not tell him to take his nephew with him. So the herdsmen began fighting among themselves. If you listen to the story, LaRonda told them to go their separate ways. So then pay attention to the story. If that meant that I left my former church and I wasn't there anymore, who were you to start having people chase me up and down? So then that meant you would have been being manipulated by somebody. Because you're a stranger to me. You know my family is true. But you're a stranger to me. I didn't even meet you until after my cousin's husband had that stroke, right? I didn't meet you before. So you ain't nobody important in my family. I mean, they know you, but you ain't, like I said, important in my family. Whether you thought it didn't really matter what you thought. I won't give 2 pennies for what you think. Your last name ain't Rickers or Richardson or Ellison or any other names that's associated. You're not. You're not. Seriously. You don't get no brownie points for call. You don't. Cause you met me and I'm related to them. You don't get no brownie points for that. That's not even a brownie point to get. For real. You tried your best. You remember how you had that ceiling fan up in my room? Remember what happened to that ceiling fan, LaRonda? You want me to tell that story? How that ceiling fan almost exploded and it could have came down and killed you? You want me to tell them how that happened, LaRonda? Or you want me to be quiet about it? You want me to tell them what happened? Okay, I'll tell them what happened. See, one day I was in my room right over there, Sacred Heart, and I was standing where the ceiling fan was. And I just moved, and when I moved, the ceiling fan said, pew, it busted. And then when I called LaRonda, she was shocked. And then when I told her, I said, I'm God's anointed. And you looked at me, I am God's anointed. See, because if I wasn't, that glass ceiling fan would have came down on me and it would have killed me, unalived me, excuse me for saying that word, right there. You couldn't even believe that I would survive something like that because it wasn't for you to try to. I don't know what happened. I can just tell you that when God is for you, the devil himself, he cannot be against you. He can fight, but he ain't going to really be against you because at some point, God is going to wrap it up. See, pay attention to what I said, LaRonda. At some point, God is going to wrap it up, not Catherine. He's going to wrap it up because he's the author and the finisher of my faith. You had really hoped that that ceiling fan would have exploded on me. It did explode, though, for real. That glass bust all over, and you was like, how you get... I didn't deliver myself. See, I'm not that mighty. But the Bible says that I serve a mighty God. I'm not mighty. It says, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. That's what Psalm 20 say. You saw all those Bible scriptures on my wall over there. And y'all really thought that I play with God like a toy. No, I don't. When people say that about me, I just look at them. I don't play with God like a toy because he's not a toy. When you hear me talk about him, I talk about him how I know that he watches over me when I sleep. Because sometimes when I go to sleep, people try to do the most treacherous things to me while I'm asleep, including trying to take a knife and take me out. But it was the God of my salvation that had an angel stand there, that person that tried it, they didn't take me out and they lost their place to live. I ain't going to say who it was, but it doesn't matter. They tried it. Tried to take me out while I was asleep with a kitchen tool. Doesn't matter what it was. I'm still here. I don't know where they are. But the point is that you were led astray. If I left that lady's church, left that lady and her husband alone, your common sense ain't asked you, why is she still bothering them? Why are they bothering her? If she hasn't been there in that long, it didn't dawn on you. Because by the time I met up with you, I had left there in 2016. So 17, 18, 19, 20, they were still chasing me around. Well, Ellen was still chasing me around. That didn't register with you because it never made sense to me. And I'm sure if I were to tell a judge that, I got accurate facts about how Smoke, a.k.a. Stephanie, how your sister go over there to that church there. I ain't talking about E9. She go right over there. That's what you said she did. You said she go over there. I have accurate facts of how Smoke was just chasing me. Remember when she first came in, I was being kind to her. You don't remember how she would go get food and I said, I would cook it. That was just me being kind. I'm a kind person. It was never that I was interested in no woman that looked like no man. Let me say it one more time. I was never interested in a woman that looked like no man. You can't ever make me something that I'm not, LaRonda. I'm going to put you out on my page. You, Temple, wasn't you married to a man one time and had a son, and then you decided to become the man in a relationship? Listen, I'm not blasting you because you like women. I'm blasting you because you tried to put that lifestyle on me. And everybody that knows me knows that I like men. I'm talking about when I go in the gym and I see men lifting, I actually might turn around and stop, okay? For real. That's human. I didn't say I'm going to say anything, but I daggone sure look. Like I do when I'm in the chip aisle. I look. Look and don't say nothing. I'm human. So, yeah, you kind of played yourself. You did too much. So, when I mention you on my page, see, I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now because when I get finished doing what I'm doing, Temple, Benita, LaRonda, I'm going to talk about y'all on my page, how y'all was letting Smoke chase me up and down that hall. And then you tried to make it seem like I was crazy. No, I wasn't crazy because I ain't wants to date no women's. See, because when I was in jail and the CO was, keeps the dykey ass women away from me. That's what I said. I don't knock anybody's lifestyle. I'm just telling you that's not mine. See, I don't go to church every Sunday and pretend to be straight and then slipping people my telephone. No. If there's men there and I think they cute, I look at them. I sure do. I don't care what church I'm in. Whether they be in the pulpit or sitting next to me. They get a look. I didn't say they was going to get my telephone number. We know they get a look because my son's father was a looker. Okay. So, Ellen, yeah, you was definitely using those folks at Sacred Heart because they were strangers to me. See, and you've done it for so long. You got Alan doing cleanup at Sacred Heart. Just cleaning up. Listen, I ain't telling him what he should or should not do. But I don't have to be silent because you was having people sexually harass me. I don't have to be silent about that. You know that I don't like women, so let me say it real loud for you, Ellen. I would not come home with you and Dr. Allen. I honestly, because if I come home with you and Dr. Allen, I'm gonna go right in the room with him and I'm gonna close the door on you. See, let me say it again. So, because you didn't understand when I said that of that, go in the room with your husband, close the door on you. Now you could read between the lines. You know what that means, right? Twosomes, not threesomes. It's gruesomes, okay? All right. So when I post that information up, don't be surprised because you was going to the maximum with that lady over there. See, and all the people talking about Catherine has to be quiet. No, I don't. Because when people are quiet, sometimes they wind up, somebody find them somewhere. Because they didn't tell nobody what was going on. And had they would have let the people know around them what was going on, they would probably still be alive. But because they kept silent, their silence got them not to be here amongst the land of the living. So I know I'm not gonna be silent about no fake ass first lady up there acting like she want the light skinned man when all she wants is the light skinned man's money. That's his business. Ain't got nothing to do with that. But when you bring your foolishness into my arena, talking about you want me to go, I don't go home with who? You look at me harder than your husband do. I ain't never seen your husband look at me because I'm a chunky kind of girl. Probably don't like no chunky woman. I don't really know. For the 20 plus years that we've known each other. I mean, Ellen, what you want me to tell the judge when I stand in front of him? Your Honor, see, we keep arguing because his wife calls all this. That's what I'm going to say. I'm telling you now. We keep arguing because his wife is petty. She got petty over hot dog and hamburger and some cooked food yesterday that she probably ain't even the hell paid for with her selfish ass. That's what I said. You're selfish. Man can't even bring his mama here and take care of his mama. Got to travel back and forth. And he not young, Ellen. Could you have some... Ellen, do me a favor. Can you just act like you care about your husband? See, he not young. I'm not even clowning him right now. He not young, Ellen. Running up and down the road, that's not good for him. He do all that preaching, and you want that man to leave where he at, go there, and Ellen, can you act like you care? Can you just act just a little bit, just a little bit, just tiny bit? Act like you care. Let the man bring his mama home with him so he can take care of his mama. Stop acting the way that you act. That man got enough money to pay for nurses round the clock, and you got that man running back and forth, tired, look like he out of breath, running up and down. Yeah, I saw that the other day when he not out of breath, he tired because he running back and forth. You ain't got, your common sense ain't told you that. You got all them college degrees. Your common sense ain't told you that the man tired of running back and forth. All you want is what you can get, you know, furs, diamonds, nice clothes and cars. You know, that's all you can get, but. You wouldn't get that if Belva wouldn't have had Alan. You wouldn't get that. See, Belva was the bridge for Alan to get here. She made a way, so then that's why you should be grateful to Belva, to Alan mama. You should not do that. I'ma stand on that. It doesn't matter whether he like me, hate me, don't ever speak to me again. It doesn't really matter. He only got one mama. His daddy gone. Can he have his mama with your selfish ass? That's what I said. You're selfish. That's your children's grandmama, and that's your children's your grand. So you should be glad to have her here. But you're not, because I bet you if that was your mama, you'd have ran up to where she's staying and you'd have wore her back. Well, then do the same thing for the man that pays all the bills. Stop treating that man like trash. You should be ashamed of yourself always talking about, I do work in your fake ass house. What you talking about? Talk. She's my sister. He ain't your husband. So what are we talking about here? How can you go out and be kind to strangers? You ain't kind to your damn husband. What the hell are you talking about? How are you gonna be kind to a bunch of strangers when you treat Alan like trash? Don't charity begins at home and spread abroad? Ain't that the Bible you read with your fake ass? Talking about human trafficking, she's my sister. Try being kind to your husband. Try going to the store, buying a couple of them groceries and, putting something nice together for him before you take your fake ass on the road talking about you going to be kind to strangers. No, you need to be kind to the man that pay all the bills. Make it so your life is comfortable. I don't know. Gonna be nice to strangers talking about we went to Jamaica, we went here, we went there. You don't even bring the man a drink of water when he thirsty. He probably gotta get. You're fake. I said it. You're fake. You could have said I begged you for a hamburger and hot dog. So what? The church was outside. They wasn't inside. That wasn't a private event. Because if it was really private, y'all would have been in the Family Life Center. No, y'all was outside yesterday. And you was a baby and you ain't want me to have no. Guess what? It's okay, Ellen. I ate yesterday and I just got finished eating some salmon salad. It's all right. See, because he's the type of man that if he was sitting outside right now and he really didn't have nothing, I would take that little bit of salmon salad that I made, him, a little bit of crackers and cheese. Ain't much. Ain't no whole lot. But I bet you I would have gave it to him. I wouldn't. I would have, because I'm a kind person. See, but that's not you though. See, you would have been ate the whole can of salmon by your selfish ass self. Right. See, it's a big difference in between me and you. You have significantly more than I have, and you're selfish. You probably were selfish when he met you. And maybe he just didn't know it, or maybe he thought you would change. You ain't never gonna change, because a leopard don't change spots. Ever. You caused all this chaos between me and this man, and you're still causing it. Here we are 10 years later arguing back and forth like cats and dogs. Ain't nobody no cat, no dog over here. Your husband is the leader of a church to be respected. One of the largest church, but he got the biggest demon sitting on the front row, the devil's daughter, demon spawn, whatever you would like to be called, because you can't be called no woman of God. See, a real woman of God would have recognized that girl came here and she homeless, let's feed her. I ain't say go stay home with you. I didn't say that. I said feed her. You so fake. What you did? Didn't you call them people down at that hospital and tell them that I was homeless? And ain't they put that on the front of my paperwork? Because they did, Ellen. You thought that was funny. See, I'm going to call you out on your nonsense because you full of it. Always talking about, I work for human trafficking. Girl, you don't work for nobody. Yeah, you do that. That's true. But you're fake. Because when you had somebody that was right there in your church that didn't have nothing to eat, nowhere to sleep, you made fun of that. It was funny. Calling over to the Planet Fitness, making fun of me taking showers. At least I had the common sense to go take a shower. Did you ever think about it like that? Why you don't want no homeless people in your church with your fake ass? Did you ever think that that was a good thing for me to take a shower? No, you ain't see it that way. First lady, did you ever think when you was telling that deaconess to give me Dawn dishwashing liquid to wash up? You know that dark skinned lady, you told her that. Did you think that was funny? See, because it was your turn, Ellen, when you was doing all of that to me. And now it's my turn to talk about it, run you down, roll you on my page. I'm going to do it all. See, karma is something else. I'm glad you enjoyed all of the stuff that you did to me for 10 years. You know, you made me miss half of my son's graduation because I had to try to go get some housing for that. I'm glad you did all of that. Because now it's my turn to tell everybody what a fake ass, phony ass first lady you is. Always talking about you love you. No, you love what he can do for you, the prestige. How he cleans up all your messes when you do stuff to me and he's quick to clean it up. You treat him like a cleanup boy at the supermarket, not no husband. Don't cook for him, clean for him, don't want to. Right. Somebody that's, Ellen, do you know that there's some women have to go out and work because their husband don't work? And even though Pastor Waller preaches, that's hard on him because he's getting older. I'm not clowning him. You're making it hard about the fact that he got to travel up and down for his mama. Do stuff for you, right. All you want is what you can get out of him. You know, for real. How you forgot that the life that you live came through my ideas. It didn't come from you. And I don't owe you respect, and I'm not going to respect you ever in this lifetime. Somebody that sits on the first row that caused that much chaos. You might want to go look at Dale Bronner's wife, because Dale Bronner's wife is known as a praying woman. Ma'am, you don't pray. You talking about you pray when you get up in the morning. What God you pray to? Which one? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or do you have a foreign God to pray to? Because it can't be Jesus, because Jesus would already told you that we just argue back and forth over the dumb stuff that you do, right? You do dumb stuff, and then you want me to give you an intelligent response. Somebody that has all of these college degrees but no common sense. So how did you think my response would be that your husband couldn't bring me a plate of food yesterday and you was the one, don't take her nothing? Why would you even think like that? You ate yesterday, whether you was there or you wasn't. That goes to be seen. It wouldn't have been no harm in Alan bringing me a plate with some deacons. It wouldn't have been. See, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear you out. I'm going to wear your reputation out, that is. I'm gonna wear your reputation out so people can see how fake you is. All that philanthropy work. Do some philanthropy work at your house with your husband. Talking about you getting on planes and you going to do some of that with your husband. The next time the floor needs to be swept, pick up a broom and sweep it. The next time a meal needs to be cooked, go cook it. While you talking about you doing philanthropy work, you don't even work in your house, ma'am. Next, oh, Rondia told it all. She did. And you do know that Rondia lived with me. So I don't know why you be talking about I'm lying. I don't have to lie. You know that Rondia lived with me when I lived at Front and Godfrey. You know exactly where I was and why Rondia was there. Wasn't Rondia a former substance abuser and I wasn't? Isn't that the story? Do you really want me to air me and Rondia's business out here in front of everybody so you can be embarrassed? See, Alan's not embarrassed. But you would be if I was to tell that whole story about me, Rondia, and Rhonda. Wasn't it that I had the cable bill in my name over there and Rondia was supposed to pay her portion? Do you really want me to embarrass you? Because I can. I don't have a problem with it. But what you will not continue to do is cause chaos between me and your husband after all of this time when there's nothing romantic going on between me and the man. If you want to take me and him to court, you can do that. So I can get up in front of the judge and tell the judge how that coquillana got a hold of your brain waves. I got a song for you. The Temptation said it was just my imagination running away with me. It was just my imagination running away with me. Bye, Ellen. It was just your imagination, because sure enough, ain't no relationship. That's gonna be my theme song if I have to go to court. I'm gonna say, Judge, can I play this song? Why you gonna play the song, Catherine? Because I got a song for the lady over there who keep on saying that I'm doing something. It was just her imagination. They said mine, but I'm gonna say her. You, Ellen, your imagination running said with you. It was just your what? Imagination running away with you. Any court we walk in right now, ain't no judge going to at you. I mean, ain't no judge going to agree with you. They would laugh you right out of their courtroom once you open your mouth and say it. They've been knowing each other 21 years and all they do is argue. The judge going to laugh at you. Wait a minute, all they do is argue and you're worried? All they do is argue and you're worried. Listen to what I said. All they do is argue and you're worried about them getting behind. See, in order for two people to be compatible, let me explain it to you because you failed miserably at life. You know, you're a public success but a private failure. Public success but a private failure because your common sense didn't tell you that they've been knowing each other this long and they don't, what? There's no intimacy. You're a step behind. You must have failed PE. You failed physical education? Is that why you kept telling people I wasn't taking care of my hygiene? I mean, you really thought that was funny. Telling people, grown folks, that another woman did not wash her vagina. You sound goofy. All this college education, that they don't even, and that's not even something a first lady should do. If you really thought that I didn't get washed, you always could have came and said, here, Catherine, here's some soap. But I had my soap. It was in that black bag, the one that you thought. Guess what, nefarious Ellen? It was soap in there. It was a sponge in there. It was a lot of stuff in there because guess what? Every time I went somewhere, I had to go through the x-ray machine and they saw what was in there. And it wasn't nothing to harm you. You know how you run up and down talking about she probably had some weapons. You're a liar. It was soap in there. See, a homeless person that wants to take showers carries soap, toothpaste. That's what was in there. You don't have no shame. I'm going to shame you, though. You telling people I got something in that black bag. Yeah. You made me lose my house where I was staying. You happy? You caused all that chaos. Then you had my mama yesterday tell people there was something wrong with my sister. Ellen, I ain't never said that my sister was born in Temple. Let me just say that real quick. My sister's not even from here. You got your sisters mixed up. See, let me help you lie. Let me help you lie with the truth. My sister is 8 years older than me. I never said that she was born in Philadelphia. I said I don't need anything when I go over there. I was born there. Right. I'm gonna get my popcorn, and in a few minutes, after I get finished my chapters in my book, because I've been steady writing and stuff. See, I'm trying to really get it done. And oh, wait a minute, let me apologize to the deacon over there. Deacon, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Deacon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you expect better of me. He know who I'm talking about. I didn't call his name right now. I'm sorry. I know you don't want me to be on here dragging your fake ass first lady, but she causing all this chaos between me and your pastor. Now we've been arguing back and forth for 10 years, and you don't want me to tell the people to choke on the communion, but then tell your fake ass first lady to just let us make up. I don't have to come back to your church. I don't have to do that. Y'all know every year I come and I spend about $100 and give y'all school supplies. I walk right back out the door. Don't lie and say I don't. Ask that man over there. I had the man that run get the school supplies. Ask him how much I spent the last time, about 120, 30, or $40. Gave y'all your school supplies and walked back out, but you talk trash about me. Say that, Ellen, with your fake ass. But 2 big bags of school supplies. I just couldn't find a calculator. See, the only person around here that's doing something wrong is you. I don't care how much I argue back and forth with my former pastor. He know that I'm going to bring no school supplies for them children because he's trying to do a good thing. But before he could get to do a good thing, he got his own wife to knock him down, not me. I don't really want to argue with him back and forth. I'd much rather just walk away and don't never see the man again. That's why I went to another church. I didn't join the church. Sometimes I show up there, sometimes I don't. It don't make no sense that 2 church people, 2 God-fearing people, let me say it the right way, they have to be subjected to a demon spawn. That's what I called you. I don't like to say that. I called you a demon spawn because you keep causing all this chaos and friction between me and this man, and we're not having no sex. Man, my bed upstairs got clothes on it. Ain't no human being in it. It's not. It's not. See, the people that live in this house can attest to the fact that I don't have anybody that comes here. See, every residence that I have been at, you have made it seem like your husband been there. Remember when I lived over 3144 West Gordon Street? Remember that? You had that lady to lock me out, throw all my stuff out. I'm going to go down the list today on my timeline, and I'm going to tell all about how you have mistreated me over the last 10 years. I don't care about the people that you work with. I really do care about your past. I mean, your husband, your pastor, he is too. But he cleans up your messes. So he already know the treacherous stuff that you've done to me. Yesterday, you had my family calling and telling me that my sister was sick. That's not funny, Ellen. See, that's how sick and warped your mind is. You actually had my family telling me that my sister was found unresponsive. And all day long yesterday, I was calling Temple Hospital. And coincidentally, right, where I was born, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I would never, why would I need ID in the hospital where I was born? If I was born there, that means I have a permanent medical record there because I was born there almost 52 years ago. See, that's why I see you must have, when you was going to school, you ain't paid attention. The hospital where you're born at, you don't need ID, Dingleberry. You had them people telling me that my sister was in there. That's not funny. But that's the sick, warped, twisted stuff that you do. You had my mom saying it, my son saying it. Listen, I ain't got nothing against your 2 daughters. I ain't said nothing bad about them yet. The reason why is because your daughters are not a part of what's going on between me and you. See, I have that much respect for you and Alan not to say nothing bad about your daughters or your grandchildren or your son-in-law. Because it's not about them. It's about me and you. You had them people call me and tell me that my sister was found naked without clothes on, not breathing. Is that funny, Ellen? See, that's how sick you is in your head, because I would have never did that to you. We could argue all day long. I would have never said nothing about your family members. And I don't. I don't say nothing about your sister, your brother-in-law. I don't. But that wasn't you yesterday. The Bible that you read, that you keep playing with, and Proverbs says this, and then I'm going to close it. Proverbs says, whom the Lord loves, not who Catherine loves. Whom the Lord loves, he corrects. Your husband might not never correct you, but Jesus will. Why? Whom the Lord loves, Proverbs says, he corrects. Go check it out in the book of Proverbs. See, you can't never stand and tell nobody about God after you just had all those people yesterday playing like my sister was found unresponsive, got a tube down her throat. That was funny, Ellen? Because if that was funny, you are sick of your head. That was not funny. Calling back the temple. They said, ain't no person here with that name. You deserve all the dragations that I'm going to give you today. I don't care what Alan say or nobody else said. You deserve whatever I give you today. You ain't had no business playing with my sister. My sister ain't did nothing to you. If you want to drag me, you have my permission to do it. Don't bring my mama in. Don't bring my sons in. My sons ain't did nothing to you, Ellen, that you had my sons telling me that they are. That's not funny. My sons have been through enough with your sick ass. See, you ain't had no business including my sons and my mama. Because I don't go to New York and include your mama. I don't come over there and include your daughters. No, I don't. So, see, you went too far this time. And that's the reason why I'm going to drag you from here to the main line back to Philadelphia, because you had no business including my two sons. My sons don't do nothing to you. They don't even go to church no more because of what happened at your church. And you ain't had no business including my mama talking about they took my sister. Come on, Ellen. Is that the best you got? So the God of your salvation ain't tell you to repent? Because if he didn't tell you to repent for the 10 years that you dogged me out and did all sorts of heinous things, I know that you don't know. Maybe next time Alan run that baptism water, maybe you need to go put some white on and step down there and let your husband lay hands on you. Maybe he need to pray for you while he praying for, because maybe you lost. See, you got a map and a compass. Let me tell you what a compass is, because you confused. The Bible is the basic instructions before leaving Earth. Man, you play a lot around with the Bible, but you don't know God, because ain't no God-fearing woman gonna do the stuff that you do. But you're a good actress, though. You make everybody on the TV believe that you really are this great philanthropist. You ain't no philanthropist. You what? You caused all that chaos yesterday with my mama and my boys talking about my sister was found unresponsive. Did you not realize that my sister has a daughter, and that wouldn't be funny? My niece would really be upset. But see, I ain't came over there and did no sick stuff like that to you. Right. Don't the Bible you keep reading say do unto others as you would have them do unto you? That's the Bible you keep reading. Keep running around here acting like you're saved and you're not. Notice I said acting. See, repentance means metanoia. Metanoia means turn away. That's real called by my name to do what? Humble themselves and seek my face and do what? Turn from their wicked ways. Then will I hear from heaven and heal their land. You need to turn from your wicked ways, not run to them. Turn from your wicked ways. You could take me right now if that's gonna make you happy. When I finish telling the judge I've known your husband all them years and they never had no intimate moments, they gonna send you for a psychiatric evaluation. Just my imagination running away with me. It was just my imagination running away with me. See y'all later.